the media doesn't care.
Someone asked me who is the leader of this organization.
We are! We the people!
We're all the leaders! We're all a leader and we're all a follower. We're all doing this together.
Sit down, media!
The media
Sit down!
and the power establishment is having a hard time figuring this out. So be patient with them.
Yeah!
They're used to just a few people showing up with a few signs, and then they go away and have a meeting in the basement of the Unitarian Church. God bless the Unitarians, by the way. Those in charge in this country and the media arm of Wall Street and corporate America were not prepared for this to be happening in hundreds of cities across this country right now. It has happened with no leaders, no organization, no dues to pay. It's happened organically, from the grassroots, the true grassroots. And in my lifetime, I have never seen a movement like this take hold this fast with this many people all across the country. Thank you, everyone, all of us, for doing this. And there's no turning back, is there? There's no turning back. I was at Occupy Wall Street last night in Zuccotti Park, Liberty Plaza. And I'm here to bring greetings from the original Occupy Wall Street. Thank you, Oakland. I said, what are we going to do with winter coming? There was almost a freezing rain last night in New York City. I said, what are we going to do with winter coming? And they said, there's two guys over there right now who have flown in from Occupy Anchorage. And they are here to consult with us on how to make it through the winter. They said there's even an ice company in New Jersey that has offered large blocks of ice to build igloos. The mayor and the police and Wall Street are hoping that the winter will kill the movement. In the same way they don't understand that this is a leaderless organization with tens of millions of spokespeople, they also don't understand that weather is not the problem facing us right now. Climate change is facing us.
Yeah!
But the weather in New York City is not going to stop this incredible movement. Let me just give you an idea, because I've been traveling the country, what I've seen. There's a town about maybe 150 miles east of here called Grass Valley, California. Are you familiar?
Grass Valley!
Where the hell is Grass Valley, right?
Up north!
I know where it is. But nobody across the country knows Grass Valley. And of course, the media doesn't know Grass Valley.
Sit down.
But last weekend in Grass Valley, there were 400 people participating in Occupy Grass Valley. 400 people. There's only a few thousand people in the town. All right?
They were here on the
And everyone was there. Old, young, out of work, people with work. The spread of American society is at each of these. You can see it right now. I can see it. I'm sitting here looking at the mosaic that this country is right now. Right here in Oakland. This is... We'll get the cameras to turn around here. You know, I don't understand it either. I've wondered this for a long time. And I've tried to explain to them that this is not what people want to look at while they're eating dinner and watching the 6 o'clock news. So, I'm sorry. But I'm getting healthy. I'm now in my 10th month with no red meat. And that will be the soundbite on the evening news. Now, this is the first of these that I've spoken at where there's an amplified sound system. What laws are we breaking here right now? A lot of laws.
Mic check.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mayor Kwan is having a press conference right now upstairs. I sent her an email asking if we could speak while I was here. But I have to tell you, the other night, well, Tuesday and Wednesday night, not being here and watching from afar what took place here was really horrifying. To see this in this country. It made the rest of the people in the United States aware of something that maybe many of you have been aware of for the last decade. And that is the militarization of our local police departments. The Congress is not allowed to tell the public how much is spent on Homeland Security. But these local police departments all across the country over the last 10 years have sucked up literally billions of dollars to buy sophisticated equipment, to buy armaments that you use in a war zone, to buy tanks,
security,
to set up spying systems. Yes, we paid for this. And to prepare for what they believe is the inevitable, which is the people, sooner or later, aren't going to take it any longer.
Don't protect the corporations!
10 years after 9/11, the majority of Americans realize who the real terrorists are. They're the people who create policies and who do things that literally do kill people. For instance, a congressional committee last month released these figures. They wanted to find out how many Americans die every year because simply for the fact that they don't have health insurance. They didn't go to the doctor because they didn't have insurance. Nearly 45,000 Americans die every year simply because they don't have health insurance. My friends, that is 15 9/11s every single year. A system that is set up to harm our own citizens. A profit-making insurance system. Who said that it is morally correct to make a profit off people when they get sick? How sick is that?
shame on him. You can get better health care.
I can tell you
I know, and in France.
how much money has corporate America made from these two wars? These two illegal, immoral wars. How much have they made? We are still spending over $2 billion a week on these wars. What could we do with that money if it was here in Oakland, in Flint, Michigan, and across the country? Somebody asked me, coming in here, Who organized this? Who organized this? I know you think we the people organized it, right?
Oakland police.
Where's Wells Fargo? I just passed it on the street. If you want to know who organized this, they organized it.
Thank you.
The people on Wall Street organized this. Bank of America organized this. ExxonMobil, BP organized this. They did more by simply putting their boot on the necks of millions of Americans. And like any human being, how long can you keep a boot on your neck?
For 1 second, we ain't taking it.
Not one more second with a boot on the neck.
Get your boot off our neck.
You know, he said it's Oakland style. We're doing this Oakland style. Let me tell you something else I've discovered across the country, and that is America, contrary to what maybe many here believe, and the way it's portrayed to us in the media, America is not a conservative country. Most Americans are actually quite liberal in their beliefs. They may not call themselves liberals, but if you look at any of the polls, the majority of Americans come down on the liberal side of the issue on just about every single issue. The majority of Americans are against these wars. The majority of these Americans want universal health care. The majority of Americans believe women should be paid the same as men. The majority of Americans want stronger environmental laws, not weaker ones. And for the first time last month, in the poll that was taken, for the first time, 54%, the majority of Americans say they believe gay marriage should be the law of the land. That's the country you live in. And I know to people in the Bay Area, it may seem to get a little scary as you head toward Richmond. Did I pick the right town? I need another town. As you head toward Walnut Creek, I was just trying to remember BART stops. Can I just put that down there? But as you go across this country, you see that that's the country you share. The people out there. That's why they're integrated. That's why 72% last week said they believe taxes should be raised on the rich. 72%. So to the media who are here, this is a few thousand people, but everybody here represents a few thousand more, or a few 10,000 more. Everybody here. That's how large this is. That's why it can't be stopped. Too many people have been thrown out of their homes. Too many people have had their schools decimated to where their kids aren't getting a proper education. We now live in a country with 40 million adults who are functional illiterates. How did that happen? It benefits those in charge to have an ignorant population. To have a population with 40 million people in it that cannot read and write above a 4th grade level. Who benefits from that? It's like they've set up the schools now to make sure that you can operate the cash register at McDonald's and you know how to greet someone in a sentence with a noun and a verb in it as they come into Walmart. Let me tell you who does know that the people of this country have had it, and that there's a very progressive thread and vein going through this country right now. That's the other side. Wall Street, corporate America, the right wing.
Military
They know this is a liberal country. All you have to do is turn on talk radio or Fox News. They're so angry. They're so angry, aren't they?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. If this was a conservative right-wing country, if you turned on Fox News every night, wouldn't they just be yippity-doo-dah, yippity-day? They're not that way, are they? They're like, rah! Every night it's rah! They're just, there's a reason why they want to suppress the vote next year. There's a reason why they're passing laws throughout the country to make it harder for poor people, for senior citizens, for people of color to vote. There's a reason they're doing that. What's the reason?
They're scared.
No, it's very simple. They can do math. They know they're in the minority. They know they're in the minority. Otherwise, really, why would you want to suppress the vote if you thought America agreed with you? You wouldn't do that, would you? No, if you believed America was with you, you'd be setting up voting booths in every aisle of every Walmart all across the country. That's not what they're doing. I also want to tell you, especially those of you who have been camping out here, thank you for doing that. You are better men and women than I am. Give me another year without the red meat. Wait, we've got our second soundbite. But watching the other night, Scott Olson. It is absolutely criminal that this young man was willing to go and risk his life in a war that he, once over there, didn't agree with. That he would risk his life like this. And the only place he had to worry about was here in his own country, in Oakland, California. I think, well, one thing we can do for the media who are here is to let them know that we are all Scott Olson. We are all with Scott Olson, and we are all Scott Olson.
They care more about the weather and the traffic. All they want to do is report the weather.
And we will not tolerate our fellow citizens being treated that way by the people that we fund with our tax dollars. I don't pay people to take a gun or a tear gas gun and point it at me and hit me in the head with their ammunition or their tear gas canister.
And the people who try
it would be as crazy as me coming up to you right now and saying to you, oh, by the way, would you just punch me in the face? Why would I do that? I think all of us want to send our best wishes, our prayers, our good karma, everything that we can muster to Scott so that he is better and well. And yeah, I think that let's have 30 seconds of silence in honor of Scott Olson and our hope that he will recover quickly from his injuries.
And completely.
I've gone on too long here, and but it's well, no, it's
He's got to get to Richmond.
No.
Occupy Richmond.
I know. Now that I've singled out Richmond, I'm going to have to go and participate in Occupy Richmond. or Walnut Creek? Walnut Creek is where we need to be, right? Isn't that where the money is? All right.
Belvedere.
I understand that Mayor Kwan is
Hiding.
she's finishing up her press conference, and I am going to try and see if I can talk to her. You know, I saw her. I'm sorry that when she came yesterday to talk, that she didn't wait to speak at the General Assembly, because I think they. Well, there's a process that we're not in a General Assembly right now, but there's a process at the General Assembly where you sign up to speak, and we're all equals. And so, you know, I've been in New York, so I've been in Occupy Wall Street, and if I'm number 17 to speak, I'm number 17 to speak, and it doesn't matter if I'm Michael Moore or Michael Schmo. You know, it doesn't. And it's the spirit. That's why this movement is built, because it is a movement of equals. Everybody has something to give to this. We're all in this together. We're going to sink or swim together. That's our choice right now.
The media is a propaganda tool. The media is a propaganda tool.
When I was there last night, somebody asked one of the people in the media tent, "What are the goals? What are you trying to accomplish?"
Accountability.
And he said, well, our mission is in our name, Occupy Wall Street, and then he said, period. And I thought about that for a second. Occupy Wall Street, period. In other words, it isn't just about these encampments. It's that we're not stopping until we, the people, occupy our economy that runs this country. This is our economy. It's our country. We're the ones that have a say. And when somebody says to me, well, you know, what's the goal? What's the end game? And I say, well, let me tell you something, first of all. We've already had a number of victories in our first 6 weeks. And let's acknowledge those victories. All right? Number one, we have killed despair across the country. The despair that people are feeling. That despair is dissipating right now. This movement has killed apathy. People have got off the sofa. They've turned off Dancing with the Stars. And they're on the streets. This is a victory. Here's something very important we've done. 6 weeks ago, what was all the media talking about? All the politicians in Washington, all the pundits. What was the national discussion that we weren't part of that they determined? What were they talking about? The debt ceiling. The debt ceiling. The deficit. We got to reduce the deficit. We got to reduce the deficit. Over and over and over all summer long. The debt ceiling, the deficit, the debt ceiling, the deficit. Can I ask you honestly, when's the last time in the last few weeks you heard them talking about the debt ceiling? This movement has shut down that bullshit discussion. That is a huge victory. You have altered the national discussion. You have altered it. This is what people are talking about in every town and city and village across America. Occupy Oakland. Occupy New York. Occupy San Francisco. Occupy Grass Valley. Occupy Walnut Creek. Occupy Michigan. Occupy everywhere. And we're not seeing the discussion So, in conclusion, I am. Did you just yell at a disabled guy to move his cane? They told me there were plants here from the police. Plainclothes officer, let me just remind you, when you yell out at a disabled person, put down the cane, we know who you are. Oh, welcome! Because police officers, you're part of the 99% too. They'll be coming after you in your home, in your health care, and your children. There's a number of towns across this country. There's a number of towns across this country that are behaving differently than Oakland. There are police departments and police unions. Hang on. There are police departments and police unions across the country supporting the Occupy movements in their towns. Albany, New York, a beautiful example. The governor told them to remove the people, and the police said, we don't consider that part of police work. So the police do have a choice, even in Oakland. It's still America, Oakland PD. It's a free country. You can join us. You can join us. You don't have to join them. You don't have to be here defending Wells Fargo and Bank of America and BP and everybody else. You can stand up for yourselves and everybody else.
Decolonize! Decolonize!
All right.
Decolonize!
So please keep this alive here. I know it's going to be a lot of snow this winter.
It's California! We support our Wall Street.
I want to say one more thing about something I saw last week. Pete Seeger. He had a concert. He did a concert up in the corner. It was up
in Arlo.
In a theater in Arlo, and Tom Chapin and a few others. Did a concert up in the corner of 95th and Broadway at Symphony Space in New York. And afterwards they decided to march from Symphony Space down to Columbus Circle. That's 36 blocks. Pete is 92 years old. On two canes, he walked the entire way. And when we got to Columbus Circle, and he was leading everyone, thousands of people, singing "This Land Is Your Land." And he looked over, and there were 2 New York City policemen singing along.
California, you're colonized already. Too late.
Right.
You know I'm right, folks.
There's good and bad police, just like there's good and bad people.
We are stronger than any rubber bullet or beanbag or tear gas canister. There's too many of us. And what are they defending in the first place? A broken system and a country that has benefited the few at the expense of the many. The time for that to end is right now. And when the history of this...
Speak it, Mike. Keep speaking. Speak. We're used to it.
You know how sad it is? He says we're from Oakland, we're used to that. You shouldn't be used to it.
The brutal state.
You know, if you lived in any other of the democracies, the one to the north of us, You know, you would never say a statement like that. Oh, we're used to that. You know, other people in other countries have decided to organize themselves differently. We can do that too. And don't worry, for those of you who aren't quite sure, who may just have stopped by to see this today, and you're wondering, yeah, but where's this going? Or I need to know more, I got to figure this out. Don't approach this like other movements from the past. Don't approach it like a term paper. Just join in, because the group itself, something will come out of this, and it will be good. It will be good and generous to each other. So everybody's got to come into this on some level, so we can make this happen. So the thing I wanted to say before the sound effects truck was that when the history of this movement is written, about these first few weeks, where, no, it's not going to fail. What? What film?
Just keep talking.
Oh, our film, yes. Yeah, are you making a film? No, I'm not making, no. No. I'm sorry, I'm here as a citizen. By the way, haven't I made those films? I'll tell you what I'm happy about, and I have been a bit giddy and overjoyed these last few weeks, because at the end of my last film, I was pretty dejected. If you did happen to see it, and I didn't, and I said at the end of the film, as I was wrapping the crime scene tape around the New York Stock Exchange, that I just really, I didn't know if I could keep doing this. I don't know if I want to make another film, because I keep making these films, and it's, you know, you just wonder, when's this going to happen? When's it going to happen? And I said at the end of the film, let me know, audience or people, when you want to do something, I'll do it with you. It's a little rough being the poster boy on Rush Limbaugh or Fox News every day. And they can get away with it when it's just a Michael Moore, Naomi Klein, or you know, any of a number of other great people that have been busy on this issue for many years. But when there are 1 million Naomi Kleins or 10 million Michael Moores, they won't know what the F to do. So, and that's why they're confused right now. So, when the history of this movement is written, this week in Oakland, California, will go down as a watershed moment. People across America were disgusted by what they saw here. When average Americans trying to stand up and peacefully assemble to be brutally savaged and attacked by the police department that they pay for. That, let me tell you, the footage, you're here, okay, you're here. We are out there. We've been watching. Millions have watched it, and millions have been inspired by you, because the next night you didn't go away. You came back.